I received a summons to appear in front of the Human Rights Commission. Why? Well, I told a joke that was deemed so offensive that it infringed upon someone's human rights. Yes, that's how hilarious it was. That's how good the joke was. It didn't just upset some people, it didn't just offend some people, it infringed their human rights. Now, I eventually got taken to the Human Rights Commission in Queensland because of that joke. And it's still before the courts, and it's a whole thing that's happened. I got served papers because of a joke. One lady complained, and then I had to front the commission.
Wow.
I think it's like a fear response. It's like this person is saying something that I don't agree with, so we must shut it down.
Yeah.
And that's a weird thing to do.
This is the feeling that you get when you receive paperwork. It feels like you've been served. You know what I mean? Like I've seen enough movies to know what being served looks like, and I'm reading this paperwork going, holy shit, I've got to appear in front of these people. It seems very, very legit. Now, yes, I lost sponsors because of it. People sent me 1 million death threats because of it. But I tell you what, if a joke's that good that it infringes upon someone's human rights, you gotta give it a bit of a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. Now, the joke itself was about Aboriginal people. Now, I would like to think that people can understand the difference between a comedian's real thoughts and the things he jokes about on stage, but apparently not. So, if you don't understand that, let me put it very simply. I say a lot of shit on stage that I don't believe. And I'm going to continue to make fun of people equally all the time. Okay? I don't care if you're Muslim or white or black or brown, I will make fun of you. Now, you may be thinking, and I will forgive you for this, isn't this court case thing, isn't this like a year or 2 years old? Isn't this over? Okay, it is. But stick around, because I have new evidence in regards to this case, which I believe, and it is my personal opinion, breaks this thing wide open. Okay, so what I discovered absolutely blew my mind. I was sent a screenshot from a Facebook group, a group that's talked shit about me before. A lot, actually. It's called Tea Time, where women spill the tea about evil exes and bad dudes and shit, whatever. Now, there's a lot of interesting things that are discussed on there, but one thing I found about me, which I found very, very interesting, was about this case. Now, the page itself, it prides itself at being just for women and non-binary people, naturally. Okay, so this is a great place for women to congregate and complain. The page has 200,000 Australian women on it. I assume most of them are Australian. And there's plenty of people without genders and all that type of stuff because they're very, very progressive in that manner. And I'm sure you can imagine all the conversations that happen on there are very, very calm, cool, collected, and they actually really progress human society. I'm totally kidding. They are just fucking chicks losing their shit constantly. Ladies, stop it. Fucking stop it. It's just chicks just bashing each other and bashing men. That's all it is. It's just fucking angry people. It's typical Facebook. The page itself describes itself as Tea Time is a group for dishing out the tea in your personal lives or banging on about the latest celebrity news. Tell us about your dodgy ex or share a juicy family drama. And apparently and allegedly discourages bullying. Well, stop bullying me, okay? I'm very sad. But the number one rule, and this is my favorite rule, whatever happens on Tea Time stays on Tea Time. We do not allow sharing of any comments or posts within the Tea Time unless you have prior permission from the poster or believe someone may be in danger. Sharing screenshots will result in immediate block. Now, this is where I come into the picture, because I'm going to show you something that no man, unless they identify as a woman, or non-binary, has ever seen before. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go any further, this video is brought to you by me. Yes, very good. What a great sponsor. My book, Betterman, is now available on Audible and Spotify and anywhere good audio books are sold. So many people were asking for the audio book, so I sat down for hours upon hours and read aloud to myself. Good grief. Go and grab it. You can head to isaacbutterfield.com. You can grab it there. Also, I am doing shows around the country right now. Check out my website for those. But Melbourne, I'm coming towards you. During the Melbourne Comedy Festival, I will be in Melbourne at the Comics Lounge in North Melbourne, the 26th to the 29th. Grab your tickets right now. They are selling swiftly at isaacbutterfield.com. Thank you very much. Back to the video. This was from an anonymous member, who I assume is the person who lodged the complaint about me with the Human Rights Commission. Let's read it, shall we? I'm not so sure. I don't know if that's appropriate, like how I'm saying that there. Maybe I need to be a bit more accurate. I'm not so sure of those who've seen Isaac Butterfield's latest TikTok, but I reported him to the AHRC. I love that you know the acronym. That's how much you complain. You know the acronym, the Australian Human Rights Commission. It was absolutely horrific to hear every single... Hang on. Have I played the clip that she's so upset? I haven't played the clip. Let me play the clip for context, for evidence. For, we're going to talk about this. We need to know what I'm talking about. All right, let's play the clip.
So I thought, let's try and get me cancelled one more time. All right? It's so easy to write Aboriginal jokes. They write themselves. The most Aboriginal word in the world, corroboree, has the word robbery in it. White people in Australia never really culturally appropriated Aboriginal culture because there's nothing that we really wanted except for the kids. Let's be honest, we never looked at tapping sticks and thought, oh, fuck, we need those. Have you ever seen a transgender Aboriginal... Of course you haven't. They're hard to spot because the ladies already look like blokes. There you go.
Welcome back, and may I remind you that I am a prick on stage, but that's what I do. That's the type of humour I enjoy, and if you don't enjoy it, all you have to do is not go to the shows. That's all you have to do, okay? Some people don't like horror movies, they don't go to them. Just remember that. It was absolutely horrific to hear every single word come out of his mouth, but apparently it's okay to be racist because it's in an artistic work or performance. How is this okay? I feel sick right now that he can get away with it. You feel sick that I can tell jokes. That, by the way, I don't even consider real. Like, this is not real. None of this is real. This is pretend, lady. I don't know how much more I can go into this shit because it's so beyond my scope of understanding how people's brains work in this type of way where they will be so offended by something. Like, I could not go, I have a lot of things wrong with me. I have things in my family that, are touchy subjects. Like, I have an autistic brother, right? If there was a comedian on stage telling autistic jokes, I wouldn't give a flying fuck. I have this weird form of epilepsy. If you tell an epilepsy joke, I don't give a fuck. Who cares? It just sounds like such a tough life to live where you're always looking out and terrified of people making jokes. Now, it's different. It is different if I say it to your face, if we're at the shops, if we're in a grocery store and I say something really mean to you. There's no punchline. I'm just being a dick. That's different. That is racism. But that's not what we're dealing with here. Now, the screenshot that she put with this post was to show the exemption. Now, there's an exemption to this contained in section 18D. It says that an act will not be against the law if it's done reasonably and in good faith. Example, an artistic work or performance. Okay, so that's the law. And this lady, and I'll get to my feelings about putting this up because you're so offended that you put it up on fucking Facebook. Like, that's how hurt you were. You went to Facebook straight after you lodged a complaint. You went to Facebook. How did this whole story go from your complaint to then me being told to go and talk to you and mediate and then getting taken one step further by the Human Rights Commission? Why? If it says in the law that an artistic work or performance is not against the law, why are we still talking about this? Like, what? Why is it? So did I break the law? Queensland Human Rights Commission, did I? Did I break the law on stage? Are there certain words and phrases that you're not allowed to say, in your opinion? What's more, I don't live in Queensland. I'm not from that state. That performance wasn't in that state. Why the fuck am I talking to you? But honestly, the main reason I made this video today was just to show you that this whole thing that cost me thousands of dollars in lawyer fees, it was so important to her that she went to a Facebook group to complain. That's not what you do when your human rights are not just infringed upon, but they're destroyed. You don't go and complain to some fucking bunch of whinge on fucking tea time. And you can imagine the comments. Like, it's just like, he's a fucking pig. I don't care. What I do care about is wasting my time and what this does as well is this only cements the idea that certain words and phrases shouldn't be said. All this does is cement in the comedy industry that certain things are taboo. Nothing's fucking taboo. All right. I cannot stand people, particularly comedians, who say you should never punch down. Fuck you, punch wherever you want. All right. If it lands and people laugh, then it's a good joke. I don't give a fuck what it's about. If it lands and people laugh, it's a good joke. If it doesn't land and you try it anyway, then that's fine. Just either fix it, change it, or stop it. Simple. Also, I have a question, and this isn't an accusation. Are you trying to get, with this complaint that you're putting on Tea Time with 200,000 members, is this you trying to have people feel sorry for you? Are you trying to get people to back you? Or are you trying to get others to complain about me as well? Maybe that's why. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's why the complaint got traction, because it was posted and then there was almost a call to action like, hey, we can complain about him. Not saying that this was her intent, not at all. Interesting, right? I wonder if that was the reason that the Queensland Human Rights Commission got involved, because they had a lot of complaints that may or may not have been related to a post in Tea Time. Probably not, definitely not, but maybe. And on top of all of that, this sentence blew my mind. If you wish to pursue the matter of racial hatred, our complaint form can be found, which I imagine is the link that this person clicked, because, well, it's that dark blue, which means you've clicked it. So did you agree that what I said on stage was not a joke? No, it was racial hatred. And I guess this is what her and her, group from Tea Time of high BMI toting friends, that's what they thought of me. I don't know, mate. I just think that we as comedians should say whatever we fucking think is funny. And it'll be up to the audience to decide whether or not it's good or not. I still honestly cannot believe that this went as big as it did. Like, it should never have gone that far. If you don't like me or my jokes, so be it. Fine. That's absolutely fine. Ignore me. Just fucking ignore me. I also hate this idea that some people need to be defended and protected. Like, no one needs that pity. No one. You should never be, you don't want to be a part of a group that needs to be a protected species. That's ridiculous. You don't want to be that. If there's anything that needs to be protected, it's free speech in this country. We don't have that written into the Constitution like the Americans do. We have very little. It's implied. That's all. That's all. It's implied. What the fuck does that mean? More than anything, this is what this confirms. This entire story is her human rights were fine. They were intact. They were not impeded against. They were not destroyed. Nothing. And I'll tell you why. Because no women or LGBTQ people in Iran are having their human rights impacted and then going to Facebook afterwards. The Uyghurs in China, they're not having their human rights impacted and then going to Facebook. The people in the camps in North Korea, they're not going to Facebook after they've been absolutely just, their minds and bodies destroyed. All of those people have their human rights obliterated and they're not going to Facebook after. I know they don't have fucking Facebook, but you get my point. You had a comedian say something that was funny, people were laughing, and yet you decided to make it all about you. Harden the fuck up, princess. That's my final fucking statement on that. And this is just a slippery slope here in Australia. Since the early 2010s, we have had things just taken, plain and simply, things taken away from us. And I fear that this is what will continue to happen with things that we say. Even right now in Australia, hate symbols are now punishable with mandatory jail terms ranging from 1 to 6 years. Now, I don't know why terror offences are in that, but you get my point. Like, this is crazy. Like, what constitutes hate? Like, if you say anything negatively about Jewish people and you write it on a wall somewhere, you could go to jail for a year. Okay, I don't agree with that person who wrote that. I think they're a dick, but they shouldn't be locked up because of it. Even displaying the Nazi salute, that'll get you in jail for a year. That's crazy. That's a hand symbol, all right? Free speech is all about hearing things that you don't like and being okay with that. And anything but that isn't freedom, it's fascism. That's what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Grab your tickets for Melbourne and head over and grab the audiobook as well. Be a good motherfucker. Peace in the Middle East. Me dick stinks. And check me out on Rumble all of these times at the bottom of the screen. Saturdays at 12 p.m. I don't know what the other times are, but in America on a Friday evening. Very good. The last couple of streams I had over 100,000 people watching, which is great. I really appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, well, let's be honest, not 100,000 live, but they watched it afterwards, which was very nice of them. I do appreciate it. But on Rumble, I have a very, very small account, so that was really, really cool. Ladies and gentlemen, see you later. Bye.